Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where today I will be looking at Angry Birds games that you most likely have never heard of. A lot of these games were lost media at some point, but have since been found, and also a lot of these games are web games. In fact, most of them are. So keep in mind that I am using the fandom pages, which are always not the best source, so take the games that don't work at all and any features of games that are playable but don't work with a grain of salt. Anyways, let's get started. First off, it will be talking about Angry Birds Fight, which is a now deleted Angry Birds game. This is an online match 3 game, and because the servers were shut down forever, it will now just give an error message saying network error KPL. The game cannot be played anymore at all.
Los vuelatazos de Angry Birds caen del cielo con muchos materiales increíbles. Y si te cae el cupón ganador de Gamesa más 10 pesos, te dan un llavero de Angry Birds. Nuevos vuelatazos. Vuela, derriba y ganas con Gamesa.
Alright, let's move on to our next game, which is Vuelatazos, which in English just means flying tazos, whatever that. This was a crossover between Pepsi and Rovio. The promotion included exclusive items like Angry Birds themed toy discs and an exclusive themed minigame version of Angry Birds, which is similar to both Angry Birds Volcano and Angry Birds The Golden Pistachio, which we will be talking about soon. The game consists of 6 exclusive levels, with the final 3 of them being only available to play with codes obtained from Pepsi products, specifically the caps or codes found in Sabrina's or Games products, because those were also involved in the making of Angry Birds Flying Tazos. The top 50 players were chosen weekly from January 9th, 2012 until March 11th, 2012. Once the competition was over, the game will still be available to play until July 31st, 2012. The game cannot be played on mobile devices and was optimized for use with the Google Chrome browser, according to the footnote on the site. The site requires players to create an account by Rovio to participate. When the competition finished, all levels became unlocked, and a link for Angry Birds Chrome and Angry Birds Friends were also present. Angry Birds Chrome we will be talking about later, where players can earn high scores. From January 9th, 2012 to March 11th, 2012,
Vulkaano, tulisen pehmeä uutuus. Uskallatko maistaa?
Next is Angry Birds Volcano, which, like Vuelatazos, had a promotion, which also involved exclusive minigames. This promotion was a crossover between Rovio and Phaser Confectionery, which is a Finnish company. Players required codes like product purchases, similar to Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 1. Specifically Cheetos, where you had to type in a code on some Cheetos to unlock Dr. Chester and Dr. Chomper. Anyways, Volcano was the first promotion of its kind for Angry Birds and was later discontinued. Obviously.
Angry Birds, do it on the fly. Wonderful pistachios. Get cracking.
To end off the games that are kind of similar to each other, we got Angry Birds in the Hunt for the Golden Pistachio. This was a crossover game between Rovio and Wonderful Pistachios, and once again, you had to buy the product for a code to play this game. Sometimes when playing the final 3 levels, there would be a Golden Pistachio. Originally, when destroying the Golden Pistachio would gain the player an instant prize that can be redeemed later or of $1,000 during the promotion. However, there were issues with availability of products in some areas. When that promotion ended, Rovio made a new promotion called the High Flyers Contest. The new promotion had all the levels unlocked, and the Golden Pistachios were worth extra points. Players would screenshot their high score and post it on Facebook. Every day, 10 winners would get a purple Hong Kong Angry Birds plush. This contest ran from February 8th, 2012 to March 5th, 2012. Angry Birds Flash is a now lost Angry Birds game that was shown at the Adobe Max convention in 2011. It had 21 levels that had a custom volcano background that was reused in the canceled Angry Birds Social, which we'll be talking about later. This also had a demo version of the Bird-O-Matic that was used in Angry Birds Friends but was later removed in 2020. Angry Birds Flash was planned to release later that year, but ended up turning into Angry Birds Facebook, which was later renamed to Angry Birds Friends, which you most likely have heard of. Next up is Angry Birds Google+. It was similar to Angry Birds Chrome, which I would also be talking about later, but featured a new episode named Teamwork, where you need 2 players instead of 1. The Google+ gaming service was removed in June of 2013. Along with it went to Angry Birds Google+. Now let's talk about another Cheetos promotion. This was an Angry Birds game that promoted Cheetos and turkey specifically. The game was released in 2012. Like Angry Birds and Volcano, there were codes on Cheeto packages. There were also daily prizes like an iPad or Angry Birds plushies. It included a Cheetos bag which could be flung at pigs like the birds. It was removed in the same year that the sequel was released, which was 2013. Angry Birds Cheetos 2 was the sequel to Angry Birds Cheetos. This version had a Cheetos bag explode on impact. There were 9 levels in total. 3 of the levels were free, but the other 6 you would have to unlock using credits. Credits could be entered by entering codes that were most likely found on some Frito-Lay products. It's possible that such products were only available in Russia and nearby countries. The game was played on Flashpoint. Next is Angry Birds Opera. The game was open for 1 day. It was available for PCs using the Opera browser. The game was released on Alpha 12 version of Opera. Next, on October 13th, 2011. The servers officially closed the very next day, as I just mentioned, and the only episode playable was Poached Eggs. So nothing special about it at all, because I swear to God, every single one of these Angry Birds games just has Poached Eggs, no matter what. It doesn't even matter what it is. Most of these games have Poached Eggs somewhere. Now, I know it's not December, in fact May currently, but next is Angry Birds Winter Wonderland. This was one of the several promotions for the Samsung Galaxy Note. The site's original URL just leads to the main website of Angry Birds. However, using the Wayback Machine, I can actually access the site. The only thing that still works though is the video. The description for the site was, would you like to have a chirpy Christmas with all the best Samsung technology in your hands? Yes? Welcome to the wonderful, wintry world of the Samsung Angry Birds Christmas Nest. Here you will find all your favorite Angry Birds characters playing in the world in a way that you have never seen before. Yes, that's right, a brand new Angry Birds Advent Challenge, which will get you chirping with delight and send your high scores soaring to the top of the tree. And it's been created just for you as a special Christmas bonus. You will also be able to send your favorite Angry Birds frequent flyers a super special Christmas tweeting that will have them owling in laughter. There are cards that you can send to family or friends called Susan's Tweeting to e-cards. Sadly, when I tried sending a card to myself, it did not work, rendering this feature useless. There is also an advent calendar. The gameplay for it was similar to Bejeweled, but the game refuses to load. There was a competition that is now closed. The site also included a video named Take Note Pigs, which I played right before this section started. It is still up on the official YouTube channel. And finally, there is a playable level. The level featured Samsung Galaxies in the clouds and icons throughout the level. When the competition ended, the level was moved to 1-5 of Angry Birds Chrome. Angry Birds Chrome was probably the most famous game on this list, besides maybe Angry Birds Fight. Angry Birds Chrome had the first 5 episodes of the original Angry Birds, an episode exclusive to Angry Birds Chrome, a modified version of Season's Greetings, which has 3 bonus levels, and the previously mentioned Samsung Note level, and a Cherry Blossom, Easter eggs, Summer Picnic, and Moon Festival episodes of Angry Birds Seasons. The Mighty Eagle was available for free for the first 21 levels of poached eggs. The golden eggs were replaced by chrome symbols. On May 4th, 2015, the game was discontinued. It was announced on Angry Birds Nest, and in fact, if you type the original link for Angry Birds Chrome, it just leads you to the Angry Birds Nest website. This marked the end of Angry Birds Chrome, but in 2020, it was made available on Flashpoint, and in 2022, Angry Birds Chrome was fixed, but some of the UI is still broken, sadly. One of these four options is the answer to what this game is based on. Can you guess which one? Timer starts now. If you guessed A, then that was a good guess, because it does sound like a Chinese version of Angry Birds, but it's actually not. If you guessed B, you would be correct. Angry Birds Social is also known as Bad Piggies. Create your own Angry Birds levels. This was a game that was never announced by Rovio, unlike Angry Birds Opera and Angry Birds Flash. The game was found in 2021, but by then, the source code has already been deleted. An earlier version of the game was found, but needs Adobe Flash to load. The gameplay consisted of creating levels and uploading them to Facebook. They all had a classic Angry Birds and a classic Pigs along with a bunch of blocks. The physics are pretty wonky, probably because the game was based on the Adobe Flash engine itself, which was probably because the team who made it this was their first web game that they were making. Angry Birds Chrome and the Angry Birds engine was not finalized yet, so this was, in fact, their first Angry Birds web game. While the game is good first attempt, it's not a very good game. Angry Birds Fuji TV was an Angry Birds game exclusive to Fuji TV, Japan, which is a TV station in Japan. It was released on March 8th, 2012. Once the game is loaded, the main menu appears identical to Cherry Blossom, except for the fact that it has Fuji TV's mascot, Rafukan, who is a blue dog. There were 2 episodes playable. Poached Eggs and Sakura Ninja. While Poached Eggs is just Poached Eggs because it couldn't be an Angry Birds game without Poached Eggs, Sakura Ninja is mostly new, except that it uses Cherry Blossom's background from Angry Birds Seasons. The birds also have unique costumes based on traditional Japanese outfits worn in the Edo period. Red is a ninja, the blues are taiko drummers, Chuck is a samurai, Bomb is a karate sensei, Matilda is a geisha, Hal is a Kwando master, Terrence is a sumo wrestler, and Bubbles is a samurai, and sadly is unplayable, but he does look pretty cool. And Mighty Eagle has no cost. Bubbles was replaced by Bomb in this version, and so you can't actually see him in game, but in sprite sheets he is visible. The game was shut down on March 31st, 2013, but was going to be shut down on March 7th, 2013, making the original shutdown date less than a year after its release. Angry Birds Lotus F1 team's article is very empty, probably because the game requires Adobe Flash to play. So little is in the article, in fact, there's not even a release date. There were signs and structures sponsoring F1 team at 311. Icebird appears, but not as a playable character, but as a level select decoration. Bomb, Bubbles, and Hal never appear. Angry Birds Telepizza is more of the same. It was released on May 25th, 2012. The game is in Spanish, the levels are replaced by pizza slices, and stars are replaced by pepperoni slices. The TNTs are replaced by jalapenos, and tomatoes are worth 1k points, and that's all it said on the fandom, so... Angry Birds Coca-Cola is a Chinese Angry Birds game, obviously promoting Coca-Cola in China. The game was released on June 11, 2012. Coca-Cola China, Rovio, and the Chinese Olympic Games teams all made this version of Angry Birds. This game obviously includes the first 21 levels of poached eggs, because it always does, but there are a total of 10 Coca-Cola themed levels. But some of the sprites in the game can also be found in the files of Angry Birds Hikey. Angry Birds Hikey was an online game released on June 25th, 2012, to a close when the Formula 1 2012 season ended. A Finnish racer named Heikki Kovalainen, I know I'm butchering all these names, just stick with it, who was sponsored by Rovio and wore an Angry Birds helmet in 2012 in F1 fact. A preview of the game was available on Lotus F1 Team's Facebook page. There was a new level released for every race. The game featured a mechanic similar to Wingman in Angry Birds Friends, where you have to click the Terrence icon. But when you do, the bird on the slingshot jumps back and Terrence comes. In order to do it, though, you need the code that is on the Facebook page for the Heikki Power Kagan program's Facebook page. There's a cutscene that features Heikki Kovalainen giving Terrence his helmet to stop the pigs. The birds then go to attack the pigs. Angry Birds in Ultra Book Adventure was another Facebook game that was released in 2012, made by Rovio and Intel. The game was a bit different than other Angry Birds games because there are new sprites and blocks like computer chips and laptops. This is also the only game to have the beginning story scene from the levels menu. The game was discontinued and supposedly could be accessed with Flashpoint, but it is really difficult to use Flashpoint in the first place.
This is a very exciting day in the entire Philadelphia Eagles organization, as we're announcing the signing of 5 very special undrafted free agents. Despite being a bit undersized, these are all high-motored, hard-nosed players who have been 3-star players at every level. They epitomize what the city is all about, and I know our fans will love their mean streak. With that, here are the newest members of the Philadelphia Eagles. Time's yours.
Excuse me, what made you want to come to Philadelphia?
Guys, how do you think you'll handle the tough and physical NFC East?
What do you think your strategy is going to be?
Wait, Coach, earlier you said you signed 5 birds to the team. Where's the 5th?
Well, the 5th bird is our secret weapon. The mighty Philadelphia Eagle has been putting in a lot of hard work this offseason, but wasn't quite ready to make his debut.
Angry Birds Philadelphia Eagles was released on September 4th, 2012, as a collaboration between the NFL and Rovio. The game was made to celebrate the 2012 to 2013 NFL season. There is a new character named the Philadelphia Eagle, who can only be summoned using a football. He is also the second Mighty Eagle counterpart to not be a silhouette, the first one being the Dragon in Angry Birds seasons. When the Eagles were interviewed, they stated about this game, "This is Rovio's first sports partnership globally, and Eagles fans can look forward to plenty of Angry Birds fun during the 2012 season." The game was available on Facebook because of course it was. The levels were named after the team schedule in 2012.
愤怒的小鸟独家关卡与免费道具，只在麦当劳，还不快来参战！
Angry Birds McDonald's was a Chinese Angry Birds game released on September 28, 2012. It was obviously made to promote McDonald's in China. It has 4 new power-ups: a burger, a drink, French fries, and a Big Mac. While there were 6 levels in total, in order to play 4 of them, you need to log in with an email, which does not work anymore. Because of this, it's currently impossible to play these levels. In 2022, a Twitter user found a full game on a Chinese domain site. There is also an ad to promote this game. Bad Piggy's Build was a cancelled Angry Birds game, which was meant to release in 2012. This was the runner-up to Angry Birds Social, which we covered earlier. Just like Angry Birds Social, this game was never announced to the public. It was found in an App Spot link. Honestly, just like Angry Birds Social, the game isn't very good. Angry Birds Star Wars Facebook was released in December of 2012. The only differences between Angry Birds Star Wars Facebook and Angry Birds Star Wars is Star Wars Facebook had only 3 episodes and a couple new power-ups, which are Blaster Droid, Clone Bird, Lightsaber Sling, Thermal Detonator. The game was shut down on March 3rd, 2014. Angry Birds Tazos was a game released on January 7, 2013 in Mexico. It is based on Angry Birds Space and Angry Birds Vuela Tazos. The game was likely a weekly tournament. The game ended on February 17th, which is also the day that the promotion ended. Angry Birds Skills was a game released in January of 2013. The game is currently lost media, so I can't really say anything about the game. It was only available by getting a special Angry Birds Fruit Shoot code and entering it on the website.
Have fun together with the exclusive Angry Birds game. Free in selected Nestle cereals.
Angry Birds Breakfast, also known as Angry Birds Nestle, was a 3-part trilogy promoting Nestle. Each part had their own unique storylines and its own levels. The first 2 parts were available on CD-ROMs that came in Nestle brand cereal boxes that were only available in certain countries. Part 3, however, was available on the website. There was an early build of Angry Birds Breakfast 3 named Angry Birds Nestle. The game had some differences from the final game, like birds not flying in an arc and different themes. Anyways, guys, that is it for this video. If you enjoyed, like, comment, and subscribe. Next week, we're going to be doing the unused content of the heroes. So if that sounds pretty interesting, then stay tuned for that. And I will see you guys next time. See you guys.